I'm not lying to you. Like, I can't make this up. I live a wild life. Yep, and then she had the nerve. You know what? Actually, I liked you. I'm like, you know what? F you, for real. Reaching my hair. Alright, y'all. To be honest, I'm finna go to bed. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's like 9, maybe even 10 o'clock at night. I don't know, but I'm finna go to sleep. I'm finna film this video, then I'm finna go to sleep. But yeah, wait, hold on. I feel a sneeze coming out. Went away. Watch is gonna come back when I get into the details. But yeah. Hey Velbies, and I'm back with another video. So today's video will be like my worst teachers ever experience. Okay, because I feel like it need to be talked about. Okay, and before I start like really into the story, I feel like teachers, they definitely leave an impact on your life, but like especially if they're bad. Like some teachers, they can really unmotivate you to do stuff. Don't let them get to you though. Like, don't let them get to you. But I'm just saying, like, dang, teachers, dang. If you want to be a teacher, be a good, nice, genuine person, okay? I understand that we're all human, and some kids, they just, you know, they're kids. But still, like, for real, just don't be no nasty person. That is, like, basically what I'm saying. But yeah, let me get my little note phone thingy. And, we're gonna get into this video. Take us a time or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, I got my phone right here. I got my notes, and we're. Oh, I look like a lie when I put it that way. But anyway, we're gonna get into this video. And yes, this is gonna be in chronological order. And hopefully, I will never have a bad teacher again. Hopefully, everybody is good. So number one, my first bad teacher really ain't come into the 6th grade, because I do believe like in elementary school they do hold your hand and all, like, and you can't be no bad elementary school teacher, okay? But then once middle school hit, it's just like stuff went downhill. But yeah, so my first bad teacher was in 6th grade, and she was my 6th grade social studies teacher. So my middle school, I went to a black middle school. Like before I got to middle school, I used to school hop, and most of those schools were predominantly white schools. But I started off at a black elementary school and ended off at the same black elementary school. So yeah, and then when I got to middle school, that's when I had a white teacher, but it was at a mostly black school. And to be honest, there wasn't really that much white people who worked at that school. Like, there was probably 5 like staff members there, and they eventually left when I like left. But yeah, when I first got to that middle school, there was like at least 5. But by the time I left that middle school, there probably was like 2. But yeah, so it was her first year teaching there, and it could have been her first year teaching black students. I don't know. But she just had like this sense of entitlement about her because she was a white woman. And bruh, why are you being prejudiced towards kids? Or why would you try to like put little kids down? Like, first of all, and she was old too. Like, that lady was old enough to be my grandmother, or probably is old enough to be my grandmother, right? So I'm like, why are you talking like that to little children? Like, we 11, 12 years old, we do not care. Why are you talking like that? And it'll be so snooty. But yeah, she was awful. I do not recall nothing. To be honest, a lot of my schooling, I don't recall a lot of stuff. But like, I literally ain't know that in her class she was not a good teacher. And guess what? A story time is time. A story time to tell you why this lady is bad. So I remember one time, and this really like made me not like her. Like, for the most part, I don't like people, but I do respect them as human beings. And it also takes a lot for me to not like you. Like, everybody hated her, and I didn't like her either, but I gave her like the grace and mercy. But like, no, this really like, bye, united. So this had to been in November of that year, and November is like a lot because it's November. You got Thanksgiving. A lot of my family members, they got birthdays. For some reason, teachers want to give you projects in November. Okay, you just got stuff playing. Like, yeah. So one time I think it was like a particular project, right? And it had to be like due soon. I really can't remember. It was so long ago. But I remember that I did my stuff. And when I was in middle school, I did not go directly home, okay? I would always be like with a family member, either because they had to work or run errands or whatever. And since like there was a family gathering going on, it was just a whole lot of stuff going on. And I was to my grandmother for the most part. So I had my book sack. I did my work because I knew this was coming up. So my grandmother was all like, oh, just leave your book sack in my car. I'm like, are you sure? Because like, I want to take my book sack with me. She's like, no, just leave it in my car. I'm like, okay. So we go on, do whatever family thing, and it's time for me to leave. But I didn't leave back with my grandmother. I don't know if somebody had a car. I don't know what went on, but I didn't leave with her. I left with my mom. Okay. This had to have been a weekend up for it to make sense. So I went home, I'm like, oh, my book sack in the car. And my mom's like, why was your book sack in that car? I'm like, because that's what my grandma told me. And the way I grew up, it's like when an adult told you something, you do it, right? Right or wrong, you do it. That's just how I grew up. I didn't want to, but and besides, they also would not listen to you because you was a child. So like, yeah, I don't like this shirt, but whatever. Anyway. But yeah, so I listened to my grandmother. I left my book sack in her car. I don't know if somebody else used the car. I don't know if she used the car, but I just know my book sack was not with me. So I'm like, hey, I need my book sack. Like, oh, I'll give you your book sack tomorrow, okay? Come to find out, all of a sudden my book sack ended up in Mississippi. Okay, she must have switched cars with somebody. I don't know, but my book sack ended up in Mississippi. I'm like, bro, I need my book sack. And because like my stuff is up in there. It's like, oh, well, we'll get it. By this time, people back at work, they doing stuff. So yeah, it must have been a Saturday, like a Saturday, Sunday, Monday situation. So Monday come, I don't have my book sack. And guess what? That project's due. I'm like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I have my book sack. So my mama emailed this lady pre-hand, and I told this lady beforehand. I'm like, look, all this stuff went down. Like, of course, I told her the story in full detail because it was fresh in my mind, and like I really can't remember. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. Well, apparently in that class, nobody did the project thing. And you know what, most people, like, if everybody failing and nobody did the project, either you can turn it in the next day and you get a percentage off, or just wait, because you can't, in middle school, you can't fail the whole class. If you do that stuff in like high school or college, then yeah, you take your L, but like you couldn't do that in middle school. So yeah, she had to do something, because like only one girl and me did the project. I just didn't turn it in because I didn't have a book sack. So then I told her, I'm like, look, ma'am, I told you why I ain't do my stuff. Well, I did do my stuff. I told you why I ain't have my stuff. I did it. And my mama contact you. So you not talking to me. And like when teachers did that weird lecture stuff, like back at that age, I couldn't like, I took everything personally back at that age. Like, oh my God, they're talking to me. But now if I get a lecture, I'm like, whatever, you ain't talking to me. So yeah, she's like, put me on blast in front of the class. Just because you made up that story doesn't mean your grade's gonna change. I'm like, I'm not lying to you. Like, I can't make this up. I live a wild life. Like, bruh, my book sack's in Mississippi. I don't have it. I can't make that up. That my book sack's in Mississippi, a whole state over. Like, so whatever. Then my mama, she went to school, got on her. I did get my points for it because, yeah, the whole class thing. But, like, really? Like, come on. If a child tell you an outrageous story like that and their parent is vouching for them, that story smells like they real. Like, come on. But she thought everybody was lying. She was just a horrible woman, to be honest. If I run into her, I'm really going to smack her. But, yeah, and to finish the book sack story, so my family member, I have a big family, so it was like somebody's birthday. And, like, the other side of the family was in Mississippi, like, because this side, the person they married into the family, and they have some family that live in Mississippi, but like we all be one happy family, okay? Like, I claim them as my family members. So what they did, they brought the books like back to the person's house that the gathering was at. Okay. The only problem is my family at the time, they lived in a gated community, and they left the books like on the back porch. Which means me and my mama had to go to the house, jump over the fence, get the book stack, and go home without getting arrested. And we had to call the family and was like, look, we just hopped your fence and got the book stack. Please tell your neighbors to not call the cops. And yeah, that's pretty much just the end of the book stack story. So yeah, number 2, my second worst teacher was my 6th grade science teacher. I did not like that lady. I didn't, and she didn't like me either, but I don't care. But the thing about it, she didn't like me for no reason. I didn't like her because she was a bad teacher. She just ain't like me, and that's cool. You don't gotta like me. But yeah, I didn't like nothing in that class. I wanted to switch classes, but I didn't. Okay, and me and some other people, we used to clown her, but like, bro, you didn't know how to teach, and she just thought I was a ringleader and stuff. And she tried to give me a C and all, and talk about something, well, we failed. Like, baby, no. I've been in the honor roll my whole life. You can't call me no stupid. Well, I've been in the honor roll my whole life, okay? I'm not stupid. Okay, come on now. You just mad I'm not stupid. Oh, well, that's a you problem with talk. But yeah, we thought this lady was a man and all, and she just had issues, but not too much on her. We just don't like her. This really a burn book, right? Like my teacher burned book. Then we got my 6th grade English teacher. To be honest, I guess she was a good teacher English-wise. I don't remember nothing. But as a person, she really wasn't that good of a person. I never really liked her. She just had an attitude. I don't like people with attitudes now, because baby, I ain't do it. And this is the thing that like made me not like her. For one, I could always tell when this lady was on her period. Okay, like at your big age, why can I tell you on your period? And it's not like she'll have like blood on the back of her pants. Like, no, she will act a fool when she's on her period. She'll be so cranky. She'll be eating chocolate. And like, that was one of them teachers, like, don't eat my class, but you stuff in your face with a whole king size Snicker bar, Hershey's bar all day. And we were mad if somebody asked you a question while you eating your Snicker bar. Like, baby, your teacher, she had like the one of the little Yetis. Not Yeti, but like the water bottle things that like keep your water cold. She will never carry that until her period. It was off. I don't like that. Like, I understand periods make us cranky and all, but I don't need to tell her she on your period every single time she can. Like, he came. Like, come on, lady. I don't even know you. But yeah, but this will really make me mad with this lady. So at my middle school, we had this thing called split plan. And split plan was when like you didn't have nobody to watch you, either a sub or like some random teachers. So they'll split like the class by last name, and about 5 kids will go to a different classroom. So I came to our class on split plan, and this was like the class like before my class. So I had to deal with this lady for a long time, right? Okay. So of course, you know, you're in middle school, you may know kids and all, and you know it's like this little 5-minute changing point to switch class and all. So this is before class. So right before class started, I was talking to this girl, you know, we was just joking, but I'm like, hey, Miss Lady, it's your student, she messing with me. And bruh, in front of the class, she gonna be like, don't do that. Like, she got so loud for no reason. Like, about to say, go sit right there. And I'm like, girl, first of all, calm down. Second of all, don't show out because you in a different class now. Because if this would have been my class, you would have not done all that, okay? Like, come on. Besides, it's 11, 12-year-olds. Like, what you expect? Like, come on. But you ain't have to yell at me, because I was never that child that you had to yell at. Like, I don't, like, why I even yell at children? But, like, yeah, I could have punched her in her face then. Like, I wish I could go back in time and just punch people in her face. But, yeah, she moved away. I hope I never see her again. But, like, yeah, I don't like you. So, not too much on that one. Well, yeah, too much, yeah. Now, 7th grade. Okay, I'm finna say they made the teacher burn book because, well, it's not really a book, but the teacher burn video, because this technically was not my teacher, but like, you had me messed up. So 7th grade year, I live in Louisiana. So with my background with elementary school, I was familiar with computers. Like, doing schoolwork on computers and all. But the specific parish I was in, they introduced computers to my 7th grade year. And with those computers, they stayed on campus. And you had little assigned classrooms where your computer was. And it was up to whoever managed your classroom to make sure those computers were at least charged in this big old thing. And then returned and stuff. So, yeah. So it was assigned that I never took this lady, right? But she was just my Chromebook teacher. Well, she did something to mess around and get fired, right? In my school, they was big on IDs too. And so she came up with a bright idea. Oh, just leave your ID with me, okay? So when you get your Chromebook, you get your ID and you'll never lose your ID because it's with me, right? But this lady got fired. Or she quit. She wasn't there. Well, she decided to exit the school and take my ID with you. Why would you take my ID with you? I was the only ID she took, right? I don't know why. She must have did that on the day I wasn't there or something. And with that school though, it's temporary IDs. There was $1, and if you had too many of them, they'll send you lunch detention or something. Or you have to purchase new ID. I'm not buying a new ID. So you know what I did? I got my ID from the previous year and used it because it was literally the same thing. It looked the same. But yeah, and that's why I don't like her, because you can leave, but just leave me out of it. You don't have to take my ID with you. So I had to duck and dodge for months because I refused to buy anybody. But yeah, that's why you made the teacher burn book. Okay. Oh, this is going to get interesting now. Well, I think the first one was interesting, but now it's going to get interesting now. So, my 8th grade English teacher. So I had 2 8th grade English teachers. Okay, one left and the other one stayed. It was both in the first semester. But of course I'm talking about the one that left because she really had me messed up. So this lady, she was the first I'm not gonna say radical, but different lady that I met, okay? She was, I don't know if she was atheist or not, but she did not believe in a religion. She was vegetarian, and she had her different views on gay rights. Cool. We all human. We got her being cool. But the thing that my problem was with her, though, I got a couple problems with her. But yeah, first and foremost, on the first day of school, she asked us, introduce yourself, what you like, da-da-da-da-da. And it's all, judgmental towards everybody. Well, my hair is colored. My hair been colored since, I was in the 7th grade, okay? And at that time, my hair was green, right? So I'm hey, I'm Ashley, and I like to dye my hair. It's oh, for real? I don't got my glasses on, but from the looks of it, it's a forest green. I'm yeah, it is green. She's well, who dyed your hair? I'm well, my mama did my hair. It's she a kitchen tissue? No, she's not. She's a licensed cosmetologist. Oh, okay. Well, your hair gonna fall out. Why you gonna tell me my hair gonna fall out? And first of all, why you really got on me? When everybody else introduced themselves and said a little fun fact, you ain't say nothing about it. You get to me, I tell you I like to dye my hair green, and my hair gonna fall out. Really? Come on now. Why would you tell that to a 12-year-old? Not 12. At this time, I'm 13, but still. Just dumb. But yeah. Now remember how I told y'all how she alleged atheist, vegetarian, and different gay rights ambassador and gender role person. Okay, bruh, I cannot tell you anything I learned about English in that class. I really can't, because every day we will have a discussion about something. It was interesting though, because I'm an open-minded person, but she'll reflect it back on us being the students, being the little 13, 14-year-olds that we are. But you out there eating meat, you buying leather coats, your God does this, your God does that, you may think you're gay, or you may not think you're gay, or you may judge people because they're gay. Lady, first of all, we are 13, 14 years old, okay? We getting our lives together and still not getting our lives together. And to be honest, it's really not that deep. Why are you going this hard behind deep what? But my brain blank. I'm trying to figure out the right words to say. Anyway, she didn't have to go that hard on us, okay? Like, it's cool to have, like, your different opinions and all. We all got an opinion, but, like, stop acting like we the problem. Because we ain't got no problem. We is 13, 14 years old, living our best life, doing whatever 14, 13-year-olds do, okay? A lot of people never met a vegetarian before. Like, she was my first vegetarian I met. So, of course, it's interesting. And she might have been the first atheist, allegedly. I don't know if she's an atheist or not, but still, we never met an alleged atheist and vegetarian. So, of course, she was interested. But it's not like, you're an atheist, you're going to hell. Or, you're a vegetarian, you're not better than me that I eat meat. Like, no. Like, we never came for her, but she was always coming at us. And for a teacher, why are you coming at me? Like, and that's why I don't like her. Like, you can live your life the way you want to, but don't come for me. And don't come for anybody and try to make you feel bad and all. Because, like, I'm not doing nothing bad. I'm learning. But yeah, I'm glad she was gone. Number 6, the snowman lady. So yeah, I already did a story time about the snowman lady. I'm not gonna keep into that, but yeah, you made the burn bus class as wordless, you know. Gotta keep it PG-13. But yeah, now, bruh, my horrible teachers didn't come until I got to high school, and the specific high school that I went to my freshman year. Like, freshman year was awful for me, okay? I didn't like my freshman year. But, whatever. So, let's get into it. So, bruh, I had this math teacher, and I'm going what I said earlier. Teachers really kind of like set a foundation for you, not who I am as a person. But before I had this math lady, I was quite decent in math, okay? Now I'm alright, but bruh, that was a whole algebra class, and algebra is a foundation for a lot of stuff, okay? And this lady really messed me up, and if I see her, I'm gonna beat her up. I'm so serious. Like, I'll beat this lady up before the 6th grade lady. Like, I don't really like the 6th grade lady, but she is senior citizens, and you cannot beat up senior citizens. But this lady right here, I know she's still young. Okay, she had to be like 23 when I met her, which means she's 27 now. So yeah, I will beat you up, girl, because you really got me messed up. So this lady, she was awful. She was a white lady. She had locks. Okay, I'm not against white people with locks, but white people with locks are really a different breed. She was from Chicago. Okay, nothing is from Chicago, but like, she was just different mindset. And she just had this bad vibe and cockiness against her. And she got multiple story times on one, because when I don't like people, I got reasons why I don't like people, okay? So yeah, number 1, she was so cocky. She just thought she was the best math lady in the world. Like, I did not understand her class. And yes, both the high school that I went to, they did prepare you for college. And that was a lot for a 9th grader, but bro, you were just a bad teacher, okay? She thought she was a super teacher. She was trying to teach 9th graders, 10th graders, and 11th graders. Mind you, that's about 3 different classes, maybe even 4, depending on what the 11th grader is doing, okay? So she's like, oh, I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm like, you the one who want to be super teacher. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me, okay? And then she was so cocky about it for whatever reason. Like, she was so weird. So, like, I had met better math people than you. My whole 7th grade teacher was a better math teacher than you. That might have been the best math teacher I ever had. And I had great math teachers. But, yeah, it was open house or whatever. And my grandmother came to open house. And I guess she ain't like my class or whatever, or she was just fed up and she just had a horrible attitude. And my grandmother, she's a very vocal person, so she was all like, why are you doing this, that, and the third? And she for my grandmother, her and her little teacher friend was all like, what you know about teaching? And my grandma, she was like, I've been teaching for 30-something years, ma'am, and you're teaching wrong. I may not be no math teacher, but come on, you gotta have a connection with the kids. I'm like, ooh, score my grandmother. So I think she kind of held something against me because my grandma checked her, but baby, you came for my grandma. Don't come for my grandma. So yeah, that's why I don't like you, because like, why would you come for my grandma? Okay. And then 2, horrible tutor. okay, and still cocky and condescending. Like, bruh, if you cocky and condescending, don't be no teacher, okay? You gotta be able to, like, be patient with a person and grow with a person, like, just help them, motivate them to learn. So, bruh, at this point, I had an F in the class. I ain't never had no F in the class. It was on a report card. It had to be like a progress report F. But yeah, I had an F in the class. And I'm crying because I do not play about my grade. I already told you I was an honor roll student my whole school. So yeah. So I literally cried over that F. And I'm telling my parents, like, it's not my fault. Like, this lady, she bad. I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm asking her if I don't get it because she messing me up. Just like, it's okay. Like, it's not your fault. We understand that you're trying. Just hang in there because we can't, like, have this and this with your GPA. Because, like, now your GPA matters. You're in high school. So I scheduled tutoring with the lady and her little special tutoring thingy, right? I take the time out for my day because, baby, I was busy in 9th grade. I was doing some other high school stuff. I was doing cake decorating. I had, like, other classes, okay? Nobody talks about it. And, whatever other things I was doing. But I was busy. So I did not have to deal with no math. So I took the time out of my schedule. And I have no car in 9th grade either. I did not ride the bus either. And I ain't carpool with nobody because I ain't pay that. So, yeah. Yeah, I was doing some sacrifices. Now other people was doing some sacrifices to, like, help me get the help that I needed. So I stayed for after school tutoring, right? Let her know and everything. This lady did not show up until late. Like, I waited over an hour for this lady. I even found her little teacher friend. I'm like, hey, teacher friend, can you help me? And the teacher friend didn't want to help me. I'm like, please. So I get the stuff up to, like, ask for help. And the teacher friend was no better. This girl, my actual teacher, she come moseying in, like, la la la, like, oh, Ashley, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm here for tutoring. She's like, you didn't schedule tutoring? Like, yes, I did. It's like, oh, well, I got like 10 minutes, so what you need help with? I'm like, I need help with this. Really? So we did something. I don't know what it is, but it was not helpful. It was honestly a waste of time, and you really had me messed up. And I'm like, yeah, like, this is deep. I'm like, really? So then another time I asked her for help, and I'm doing something. I was like stressing over this problem, doing it the way she told me, and everything with little symbols and all. And I'm like, see, I did this problem 7 times. And the 6 is not giving me a answer. She's like, because it wasn't a 6. I'm like, what you mean it's not no 6? She's like, you made it a 6 by doing a simple thing like that. I could have punched on her face. Because as a teacher, as a tutor, you couldn't be like, hey, don't do it like that. That simple thing gonna make your number look different. You ain't catch that. You just gonna tell me that I'm wrong. And, you know, as a little 14-year-old, you probably think you're a failure or something. I'm like, so you just watch me do all this work and you just gonna let me fail, huh? That's that person you are. Oh, okay. I got something for you. Oh, this lady here, it's making my blood boil thinking about her because I don't like her at all. Okay, here's the good news. Bro. This lady eventually left, right? But see, she didn't tell nobody. At this time, it's November. Not November, it's December. And we taking like our little final test because with schools, and the school I would say, the testing, you can't fail it in December because if you basically fail that testing, you pretty much fail the whole course, right? So I made a C on it. Like, it took the grace of God for me to make a C on it. But I thank God for that because that class, I didn't know nothing, so it was hard. And I wasn't really getting the help that I needed. So it was really, really hard. Like, I had to fight and claw my way. So, yeah. So after I did the test, I heard from my classmates, they're like, oh, Miss Such and Such leaving. I'm like, be for real, don't play with me. Because if she leave, I'm gonna be so happy. Like, do not get my hopes up and I see this lady next semester. So then after the test or whatever, I asked her, I'm like, hey, are you leaving? She's like, yeah, I got a better She's like, yeah, I got a better position. because at that time, allegedly, I don't know, but a lot of people from that school, they so-called got a better job for like this tech company or LSU partnership with this tech company. I don't know, but a bunch of people left that year, like at that same time. I'm like, oh well, congratulations to you, but bruh, I wanted to cry tears of joy. Like I wanted to give God a hug. I'm like, yes, this lady is out of my life. I was so freaking happy. Like I almost bust out crying tears of joy right there, but you know, you can't let people see you cry. But yeah, and then she had the nerve, you know what? Actually, I liked you. I'm like, you know what? F you, for real. And then I heard like from the classmates and all, cause you know, 9th graders, they don't play. They're 9th graders, but you know, if you don't start with them, it won't be none. But also, like, they can be rowdy. I get it. But I wasn't in no rowdy class, but we was not to be played with, and like nobody liked her. Everybody was feeling. So I remember one time this girl was like, y'all made Miss such and such cry. And I seen the lady cry in class. I'm like, I don't care about her crying. She made me cry. Like, for real, I had a whole F in the class. I'm like, I cried. So, yeah, forget your tears. But chill. I don't like that lady. Forget that lady. So, another teacher, we almost done now. She owned this burn book by default. Nothing against you, girl, but like I already told you, 9th grade year was horrible. So yeah, so we got a new math teacher, right? And there was this random lady. I don't know if she was first year teacher or not, but at this time the whole class is over it because he dealt with that stupid Chicago lady. And now we got this new girl, first time teacher, whatever. We still don't know what's going on. She really didn't know where the last day left off. And I don't know nothing. So I think you was a nice girl. I don't know. But you on this by default because you didn't teach you nothing. You was just a basic girl and that class ain't over you too. And yeah. And the last but not least, and this was my last horrible teacher, but my dang on Spanish 2 teacher. Okay. So 8th grade year, I took Spanish 1. It was a college credit. I did that on purpose. So when I got to high school, I don't have to take 2 years of Spanish. I could take 1 year and move on with my life, right? So this lady, she was the only person who taught Spanish too. And she was awful because she was like a first year teacher. And she just had issues though. Like I think that lady was actually like crazy. Like I'm not talking about mental health. Like she was a crazy lady, okay? Like, I don't know what we learned in that class. When I did try to learn, it was nothing. Because it's like she wanted to do it by the textbook or not. I'm like, bro, you can't make your own curriculum. You gotta have some type of lesson plan or what? Like, it was not by the textbook. Like, she was like, look at the textbook. I look at the textbook. It's not on the textbook. What are you doing? We didn't have no resources. And we'll just talk about her phony kids. I know I can talk about kids, but like I did not care about your kids. I didn't. And from the looks of it, your kids probably grown by now. But yeah, or she'll just have random conversation. You know, like kids, they'll like have random conversation in class. So she'll just jump in the conversation and they have this random conversation for the whole class period, not learning nothing about whatever Spanish it is. And the thing that really made me mad about this lady, I actually like put in the work and effort for this class, right? The whole class cheated. Not the whole class, but most of that class cheated. And I got a D in that class. I never had a D before, but like her stupid self wanted to give me a D. And I actually put in the work and dedication in this class. And you walk by me all the time like I was the one cheating. I wasn't the one cheating. Your babe was cheating. Okay? You should have been looking at them like, bruh. And then when I asked you for help, why you didn't do your work? I mean, you see the flashcards? What? I don't care about your daughter. I don't care about your son. Like, help me with this work. Like, you the teacher, I'm asking you for help. You're the only one who teach Spanish. Like, forget that lady. Like, that really kind of put me off for Spanish. not too much. I do want to learn Spanish, but after that, like, I ain't taking no more foreign language. I ain't taking Spanish 2 again. Let me just take my D. I don't know. I think that Spanish 2 did mess up my overall GPA because my rank in my graduation wasn't where I wanted it to be. But I blame her. You messed up my graduation rate, and I don't play about that. But whatever. Forget that lady. You traumatized me. I don't know why I'm always the bad guy. This is I'm the villain now. Okay, y'all play me out to be the villain. I'm gonna be the villain for real. Okay, because I was really a good kid and y'all just did this to me. I just had to make a whole burn book video for the people I don't like. Okay. But yeah, those are my most memorable teachers that I just did not like in school. I'm so glad the list stopped at 9th grade, to be honest. Honestly, 10th grade was the best year ever for my high school experience, but you know, my high school experience is traumatizing. But hey, that saved me though from worse teachers, because imagine if I had a regular high school experience, I could have experienced more bad teachers. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Y'all have a good one. Remember, love y'all. Bye.